So, friends, first of all, welcome. Welcome to the WeGyan webinar. Many of you may be aware that we started this WeGyan webinar during the pandemic when everyone was stuck at their home. So during that time frame, we are all itching for social interaction, and Zoom gave us that path. And we felt this was a great platform to share knowledge, to learn from each other. So with that in mind, WeGyan, what's called activity, was started. Uh, the whole goal of this is to bring in experts to come in and talk about topics that are of interest, that are of relevance. Fortunately, we have a very good friend through Gangaraj, who is the founder and CEO of Right TaxMe. And clearly, with all the tax laws that are changing all the time, we have a resident spot for Gangaraj to talk about the latest and greatest in the tax world. And also, Gangaraj has been kind enough to support WeGyan by sharing and by allowing us to use his Zoom ID and Zoom session. So I'm going to turn the ball over to Anna Asawa, who is the co-founder of Hunger Mitao, a movement that very well known in the North Texas area. She is also the board member of North Texas Food Bank. And I would like her to kind of take a couple of minutes, talk about the hunger issue, food bank, and then also set the ground rules for today's call. Anna, over
Perfect.
to you.
Thank you, Raj. Actually, I'm going to start with the ground rules. You should all know that the session is being recorded. Everybody except for the speakers will be kept on mute for the entire duration of the webinar. If we do have time for live Q&A, we will use the unmute button to, as appropriate at that point. But please be active in the chat window. Post your questions there. Like Raj said, we'll try and accommodate as many questions as possible. And if your question is not asked, it will be sent to the speakers, and hopefully, they can answer it offline. So just be active on chat, please. Now let me talk about Hunger Mitao. Hunger Mitao means wipe out hunger. And with food programs and SNAP under pressure, like everybody knows, nobody can not know this, that food programs are being canceled by administration, and SNAP, which is the food stamps program, is under pressure. It's not surprising that hunger numbers have gone up, and they're actually at an all-time high. Would you believe it? It's higher right now than at the height of the pandemic. Texas leads the entire country when it comes to most people struggling with hunger. Stunning, but that is the truth right now. And if you find that in any way unacceptable, please come join us. We are Hunger Mitao, volunteers creating engaging ways to get communities involved in banding together with food banks to help make sure everyone has access to food when they need it. We do it through many ways, through advocacy with policymakers, through volunteering, through fundraising, through food drives. And if you want to learn more, please put your name in the chat and I will connect with you directly. In almost 8 years, Hunger Mitao has helped enable more than 75 million meals for the Feeding America network of food banks. So you see, there is tremendous power in unity, and we can all come together and make a larger impact. So put your name in the chat, and I will connect with you. Thank you, Raj.
Great. Thank you very much, Anna. Really appreciate that. And I hope people will join in this movement. And, donation is the last thing. We want people to get involved through volunteering, food drives, etc. And we have many opportunities to do that. So hopefully we'll get more people to join in this fight against hunger. Now, let me jump right into our session here. Very excited to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Mr. Ahmad Gori. And I heard him recently at another group that I'm part of. I am part of an Asian Chamber Professional Association. My friend Ken C, he runs that organization, and he has these quarterly, speaker sessions. And Ahmad spoke at that session. And I was totally mesmerized about, first of all, his presentation style and the fact that the organization that he works for, Ahmad is the acting director at Small Business Administration. And Anna, you may remember back in the 80s, right after our marriage, we were going down the entrepreneurship track and we were trying to figure out where to start. And I remember back then we reached out to SBA and we got resources from templates for strategic business plan, template for financial plan. There is a SCORE organization that they had that would provide mentoring and counseling, etc. And listening to Ahmad, all of those things came rushing back to my mind. And Ahmad, just for your benefit, you're speaking to a community which believes in entrepreneurship. The Indian American community in general, is very much entrepreneurial. Even in a regular job, you will see the way they work more like entrepreneur. If somebody says this needs 40 hours to do, they are creative. They will try to figure out how to do it in 20. And so they're always creative, always stretching themselves. And I know that of many who are on the call right now have asked me several times, how does one get started? What are some of the things, disciplines? What are some resources? What are some support that we can, tap into? So I think it's great that Ahmad, you are here to speak about what SBA does and what resources the community can benefit from. But it will be only fair for me to give a little background about Ahmad to all of you. Ahmad will discuss how the U.S. Small Business Administration helps power the American dream. The Indian American dream is wrapped into that of business ownership. As the only go-to resource and voice for small businesses backed by the strength of the federal government, the SBA empowers entrepreneurs and small business owners with the resources and support they need to start, grow, expand their businesses, or even, this is something interesting I found, recover from a declared disaster. I did not know SBA got into that. So this is so fascinating that we may have resources, but just don't know how to engage, how to tap into it. SBA delivers services through an extensive network of SBA field offices and partnership with public and private organizations. So vast is your offering and your reach. And also another thing, Ahmad, and I may be taking some of your bang there, but it's not just for small businesses, or maybe it is for small businesses that eventually became big businesses. One of the slides that Ahmad will share will surprise everyone of the organizations that tapped into the resources of SBA. And you'll be blown away. I thought, oh, I didn't realize the likes of this also used SBA. So with that, Ahmad, I'm turning it over to you, my friend. The floor is yours. Hopefully you can share your presentation and we don't run into any technical issues.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me. Definitely appreciate this opportunity to share a wealth of information about the U.S. Small Business Administration. As you mentioned, we are in the business of helping individuals start and grow businesses. We are a federal agency, so who funds the federal government? That is you, the taxpayers. So all of these services are offered to you at no cost. And we definitely encourage you to utilize these programs for your different entrepreneurship endeavors. Just a little background about the U.S. Small Business Administration. We were founded in 1953 with the sole purpose of helping individuals start and grow businesses. So we're that federal agency that's solely dedicated to just that. The head of our agency is a member of the president's cabinet. So that just goes to show you how important you are as small businesses, that the voice of the SBA and the small businesses, the 30 million small businesses across the country, are represented in the president's cabinet. And it's been like that for the last few presidents, have kept SBA cabinet level. So just to give you a synopsis, the SBA administrator is on the same level as like the Secretary of Defense. So they're all in the president's cabinet. So it just enlightens you in the importance of how SBA is to the American economy. So the way that we help people start and grow are based off of our programs. We have capital programs. So we focus on what we call the three C's. So that's the capital, which is our loans, our counseling programs to help you get the necessary advice. Also, our government contracting programs to help you engage with federal agencies to sell your products. So we're going to focus on that first C, which is our capital program. So we have several loan programs. The first one is our microloan program. So these are smaller loans that range from anywhere between $100 to $50,000. It's really to help your business get on its feet and get up and running. So we have nonprofits across the United States, and here in the DFW area, we have about three that get funds directly from SBA to in turn lend that money out into underserved markets. For the SBA. So Live Fund, BCL of Texas, and People Fund are our micro lenders here in the DFW area. Then we have our 7A loan program. So this is our flagship loan program. So this is what SBA is really known for, that larger loan program that could be used for any and everything as relates to your business. If it's equipment, if it's real estate, or if it's just operating capital for the day-to-day operations of your business, like paying your employees. These loans go up to $5 million. SBA is not a direct lender. The only time that SBA is a direct lender is in the time of a disaster that was previously mentioned. But in our regular programs, we're not a direct lender. So we work with about 2,000 lending partners or banks across the country. Here in the DFW area, we work with about 200 different type of banking institutions, and we guarantee the loan. So that means that it takes on the risk of the bank. So the banks are more willing to lend, where they may find out that a particular business loan is not ideal for their traditional programs, then the SBA loan program is a great alternative because the SBA is the guarantor of that loan. So we're insuring that loan either 85 or 75%. So 85% if it's under 150,000 or 75% if it's over 150,000. So in that instance, banks are more relaxed in lending to businesses where, as I mentioned, may not be a good fit in their traditional loan programs. Here's a local success story. So Mike and Kevin on the right, Mike Hoke and Kevin Nassis. You may be familiar with them. They started the restaurant group in Dallas. They're really involved in the development as well as in Dallas as well. So they're doing a really lot of great things. But it all started back when both of them were in undergrad at UTA. They both graduated and wanted to go into business together. They started a restaurant in downtown Dallas called the Dallas Fish Market. They did well, wanted to expand, but didn't have the financing to do so. So they came to SBA. We guaranteed a loan for them, and it went up from there. So they were able to get a SBA guaranteed loan for $770,000. Where they expanded to 5 more restaurants in downtown Dallas. So not only the Dallas Chop House, but they also had not only the Dallas Fish Market, but they also had the Dallas Chop House, Wild Salsa, and several other restaurants. But they also expanded into Fort Worth. And this is why we are using your tax dollars to invest into small businesses to grow. Is because when we give you that loan, you in turn stimulate the economy by creating jobs. So look what it did for Mike and Kevin. That $770,000 not only allowed them to create 5 restaurants, but it also allowed them to create 250 jobs in the DFW area. So that's what it's all about, is that economic impact. We want businesses, small businesses particularly, which are the economic engines of the U.S. economy, creating more jobs than the large corporations, to continue to do that, which makes our economy stronger. Here's a report card of how we've done locally in the DFW area. So I started with the district in about 2010 in the SBA Dallas-Fort Worth district. That office had never reached over $1 billion in lending until 2015. And every year since then, the local DFW office has reached over $1 billion in lending, ranking number 3 out of 68 offices across the country. So you are in a very progressive market when it comes to SBA loans. We also have venture capitalist relationships that you're able able to connect with. So we have what we call small business investment companies, and we license these venture capitalist firms to provide investing opportunities to small businesses. So they could either provide direct financing, equity financing for business, but they're like that Shark Tank relationship for SBA to small businesses. So every dollar that they raise, SBA gives them too. So they're dying to find businesses to invest into. Companies that utilize this program that went to a bank, for instance, and couldn't get a loan were denied, or companies like Apple, Intel, Staples all got assistance from the SBA, SBIC program. And here's Valesco Industries. They are a venture capitalist, a small business investment company licensed by the SBA, and their purpose is to find businesses to invest into. That's what they do day in and day out, is go out across the country looking for businesses to invest into. And in 2022, they were the top small business investment company in the United States of America, and they're right here located in Dallas. So they're looking for businesses to invest into on behalf of the Small Business Administration. We love franchises, so we love to fund franchises. We have expanded our franchise funding reach. As you can see, we've done hundreds of millions of dollars in funding franchises here locally. So if that's something that any of you are interested in or know someone that's interested in purchasing a franchise, we help fund that particular transaction as well. Here's a local success story who received franchise funding from the SBA. So if you're familiar with Nothing But Cakes in Cedar Hill, they received an SBA loan in 2016 for $244,000 to get that Nothing But Cakes there. The husband and wife right there on the end worked in corporate America, got tired of it, and wanted to go into business for themselves. Came to SBA. We gave them that loan to open that bakery, and they've done a lot with it. They've created about 20 jobs in the local economy and see increased sales ever since opening. Transitioning over to that second C, the three C's, which is our counseling program. So this is really ideal if you are looking to start a business, but you don't know how, or if you're looking to grow your business and you need the guidance and expertise to coach you on that or give you the best advice on how to expand your business. And Anna, if you go out and hire somebody to consult you on how to start or grow a business, it's going to run you $600 to $700 an hour. Utilizing our programs and services to help counsel you are completely at no cost. Again, these are your tax dollars at work. So they're able to teach you how to write a business plan. They could tell you everything that you need to know to get your business registered and get your business started, as well as help you find funding through our SCORE mentors, through our small business development centers. They have a professional staff that can help you decide what's the best location to expand your business in. Who are your competitors? How much revenue can you expect? So they're able to do all that professional market research for you and give you the advice and the guidance to be successful. Again, all at no cost. 8 out of 10 small businesses fail within their first 18 months simply because they don't get that professional guidance and expertise to coach them and teach them of what they're about to get into. That's why this counseling program that we offer at no cost is extremely important to prepare you for entrepreneurship, but to prepare you to be successful in entrepreneurship is what we offer through our counseling programs. We also have a Veterans Business Outreach Center for our veterans. So those that are veterans and those that are connected to veterans that are looking to start and grow businesses. We have an outreach center at UTA in Arlington that can assist with those particular needs as well. And then transitioning to that third C, which is contracting. So if you have a product or service and you want to expand your business and sell to the United States government, we can help you do that. Why is that important? Because the federal government as an entity by itself, the U.S. government is an entity, and as an entity, the U.S. government spends about $600 billion a year in purchasing any and everything that you can think of. So we're the largest procuring entity in the world, buying more goods and services than any other entity in the entire globe. But what's special about that is it's U.S. law, it's statute that of that 600 billion, 23% of that must be set aside for small businesses. So at the small business Administration, we're the gatekeeper of that. We're making sure that businesses get access to that 23%, but also making sure that federal agencies are utilizing and procuring 23% of their dollars with small businesses. So we're that gatekeeper to make sure all that flows correctly and appropriately. The way that we help you sell your product and service to the government is we have certifications. So we have the 8A Business Development Program, which is for socially and economically disadvantaged small business owners. And if you're a member of a minority group, you're automatically assumed to be socially disadvantaged. So you have the ability to take advantage of this government certification that allows you, of that 23% that I just mentioned of 600 billion, you're able to get automatic access to 5% of that 23% if you have that certification. What's also powerful about that certification is you could get sole source contracts, which means if the government thinks that you're the only capable firm to carry out that contract, they can hand it to you and you don't have to go out and bid for it. So only if you have that certification. The second certification is our Hub Zone, or Historically Underutilized Business Zone program. So this is for businesses that are located in these areas that the census has determined underutilized. So if you locate your business in one of these zones, or if your business is already located in one of these zones, and you hire 35% of your employees from any of these hub zones, then you could qualify for this program, which is a certification that allows you to get automatically 3% of that 23% of $600 billion. Only if you have the certification, you could get 3% of that, automatic access to 3% of that 23%. So are you able to get both certifications? Absolutely. So if you get both certifications, you're able to get automatic access to 8% of that 23% of government contracts that we spend $600 billion a year on. So two very powerful certifications to help grow your business, hire employees, but most importantly, make money. So you may ask yourself, well, where are the hub zones in the DFW area? So all those shaded areas, those are hub zones. So if you have a business in a hub zone, or you're willing to locate your business to a hub zone and hire 23% of your employees from any of these shaded areas, and you want to sell your product to the government and get access to that 23% of 600 billion, then you could definitely look into this program and apply for it. Here's Dr. Marcus Martin of 2M Research out of Arlington, Texas. He's specifically and strategically moved his business to a hub zone, one of those shaded areas, and reaped the benefits of that. And this is exactly what it did. He was able to get about $10 million in federal contracting opportunities, created about 56 jobs, and had a estimated 15 million economic impact as it relates to contracts in the next 5 years, creating 150 jobs. So he reaped the benefits of that program by strategically moving his business to one of those shaded areas. We love helping exporters. So if you're only doing business in the United States of America, you're only doing business with 5% of the world's purchasing power. There's 95% of world purchasing power outside of the U.S. borders. So we want to help you export. So a lot of people always ask SBA, do they have grants? Which we don't. But the only time that we do offer a grant opportunity is through our exporting program. So we're able to give you a grant through the state of Texas. In other states across the country, we award states across the country funding to give businesses grants to explore exporting. So you're able to do trade missions. You're able to transition your website to attract overseas business. So you're able to use up to a $10,000 grant to do those different things to explore exporting. So very powerful resource that we offer to help expand your business outside the U.S. And yeah, these are the businesses that you might be surprised about that actually started out small somewhere in their entrepreneurship endeavor. And with some type of SBA assistance, they are now the large corporations that they are today. So Nike, Ben and Jerry's, Outback, FedEx, Under Armour, and all these that are listed, and many more utilize some type of SBA program somewhere along their entrepreneurship journey. And this is how to keep in touch with us. definitely visit SBA.gov. It's a very powerful website. There's a lot of tools and resources on there to help you start and grow businesses. It's so powerful that it's the most visited website in the entire U.S. government. So it just goes to show you how important that website is. If you have X, follow us on our local X account at SBA DFW, and we're also on LinkedIn as well locally. But this is my email address. If you want to get connected with any of these programs, definitely feel free to email me. And I sent over my presentation, so feel free to send it out as a reference point if you need to go back to check any of these slides or get my contact information. And with that, I will stand by for any questions.
Emma, thank you so very much. I realize that in a Zoom session, you're quite not sure what is the audience reaction, etc. But based on some of the private messages that I received, looks like everybody is like wowed. And maybe a couple of the questions that comes right off the bat is that since this is a government institution, the SBA, and there's a lot of government contracting incentives that you mentioned about, there seems to be a thought process that a majority of the work or business is in connection with the federal government. And I don't think that is the case, right? For example, your counseling services is for any entrepreneur who is interested in.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. Any for-profit institution or any for-profit business is able to take advantage of the programs that I mentioned.
Okay. And you're basically also giving them insight into how to tap into what may be a complex federal government world, how to tap into it through right certification to actually get some business from that angle as well. What about minority certification, minority business owner certification? Would that also help?
And so the federal government in SBA, we don't have a minority specific certification. The closest that we have to that is that 8A program that I mentioned, which is for socially and economically disadvantaged small businesses that are looking to sell their product or service to the government through the procurement process of contracting.
Got it.
Great question.
Excellent. Okay, sharing collateral, definitely we'll be sharing the collateral. So one of the question was about, as entrepreneurs right now through YouTube, through internet, and now through Chat GPT, resources are plentiful. But talking to a person, and then taking an idea that they want to maybe pursue for a business venture, can you tell us a little bit about that journey and how your counseling services can help an individual with an idea to go through the process and identify, is it worthwhile? Are they ready for entrepreneurship, etc.?
Absolutely. So those resource partners that I mentioned, SCORE and Small Business Development Center, SCORE specifically, they have mentors that have worked in corporate America, own their own businesses. So they have that experience of how a business should operate. So they're able to give you that professional mentoring on what it takes to start a business, from an ideal and how to put that ideal into a plan, which is your business plan, and give you the resources needed to take that plan to the next level. They're also able to give you upfront and true and real live mentoring on if it's something that's viable or not, and give you that advice. Of course, that the decision to continue with it will be up to you, but they're able to give you that professional advice. In small business development centers, for instance, they have access to high-end databases that can help you make a more informed decision on what you want to do with your business. Who are the competitors in that area? How is that industry performing across the country? Who are the various customers you should target? So they're able to get access to those very high-end, very expensive databases to help you make those informed decisions. Again, all of those services are at no cost. If you go out and hire someone, again, it's going to run you $600 to $700 an hour to pay you a consultant to do exactly what these services provide to you at no cost that your tax dollars are already paying for.
I think that no cost keeps ringing in my head, and I'm saying, with these kinds of resources, when people complain about, hey, I have an idea, but I don't know, and they are so afraid of, quote unquote, the VC world, How do you differentiate yourself from the VC world, if I were to just ask that bluntly? Because VCs also, for an entrepreneur, they start out with besides funding, they are also willing to provide their talent and help in helping build a team, etc. But experience down the road is not necessarily always the best. So how do you compare your services to what a VC would provide?
Yeah. So it's really up to the business on what they feel is necessary for what their endeavor is. A venture capitalist firm may be the best suitable situation for them. And I mentioned, we actually have a program that has venture capitalist involvement, which is our small business investment company program, or a SBA loan where we guarantee it. May be a better route. It's really up to the business to make that decision. But we think it's really important for a business to come to us and let us get you connected with the resource partners, one of those small business development center advisors or a score mentor that can really sit down with you and tell you or give you advice on what program may be better suitable for your business need. If it's a small business investment company or venture capitalist relationship that you should pursue, or if it's just a traditional loan that you should go through, or if it should be both. They are able to give you that professional advice after assessing where your business is at the time to let you know what you need to do to take it to the next level.
Great. One other thing that you had mentioned was about franchising.
Mm-hmm.
You have supported the franchise dream of entrepreneurs and business owners. When you look at the overall portfolio of the kind of businesses that SBA has helped from talent and time and loans, etc., how many of them are like uh, ground up new ideas pursuing a business venture versus number of percentage of businesses that are going down the uh, franchisee route? Do you have a kind of breakdown of which?
No, I don't. I don't. That's a good question, though. But the vast majority of the businesses that are assisted through SBA are startup
Sorry,
businesses. But no, I don't have that breakdown on what are franchises and what are regular businesses.
great. And do established business also tap into you, or is there like a do you screen them that if you're already 50 million or 100 million, we don't support you? I just want to understand that.
Yeah, so we only assist small businesses, and that's determined by the size standards that SBA put out. So if it's manufacturing, it's up to 500 employees. That's a general definition of a small business. But when you get into some of our loan programs and government contracting programs, it's based off of your revenue, and it varies per industry
Okay,
or by industry.
great, wonderful. I think most of the questions that I received, I have been able to ask. If anybody has any specific question that they would like to ask Ahmad directly, feel free to raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you could ask that question. Ahmad has been very gracious. I think your presentation style, Ahmad, last time also when I heard you, you answer all the questions right there. And it only makes me realize why the heck, did I not start more businesses with these kinds of resources that were available? Okay, Kiran, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Raj and everybody. This is a great presentation. I think there's whole lot. I think I have to go through one more time on the information that you gave to digest more. Thank you for that. Quick question is, what are the rates for these loans? I mean, are they actually, having a uh, different, what do you call the rate scorecards separately from the regular, loans that we take out from private banks or something like that? And also, what about the collaterals?
Yeah, great question. So there's not a certain set interest rate for SBA loans. We really leave that up to the bank and the borrower to make that decision because it's ultimately the bank's money. We guarantee the loans,
Hmm.
but they are not able to charge 2.75 on top of prime, no more than 2.75 on top of prime at the time. So they're not able to charge more than that on an interest rate. So it can go up to that. But that's a negotiation that typically happens between the borrower and the lending institution. But offset of that, again, before a business decides to go knocking on banks' doors and shopping around for the best interest rate, we prefer them to go to one of those resource partners that I talked about, who have relationships with banking institutions so they can tell you what bank is better suitable for your business need. For instance, not all banks are interested in restaurants. They don't have a niche for restaurants. So we want to make sure that we get you connected with the most appropriate banking institution, for one, to not waste your time and resources in filling out an application and putting a loan package together. And ultimately, that's just not what the bank is looking to invest into. So let us get you connected with one of those resource partners if you're looking to explore financing, and they could tell you what banks are requiring what. And I see your question about collateral as well. So they could explain all those details with you as well. What banks, certain banks require what collateral or how much collateral.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Ahmad, thank you very much. Looks like we have exhausted most of the questions. Very good session. I thank you very much, not only for participating, but also, besides presenting, allowing me to share this presentation with the team. So this will be very helpful, and your contact information is there. So, don't be surprised if people who may still be kind of digesting this information will turn around and kind of reach out to your email, and you will probably hear from quite a few budding entrepreneurs.
I'll look forward to it. Absolutely. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. And I'm looking forward to connecting with anyone that wants to do so.
Great. And I know one other thing I want to tell everybody here is that, Ahmad works for SBA. He's the acting director, but this is after hours, but it's so kind of him to, tap into his personal time to conduct this session for the benefit of all of us. So thank you very much. Really, you go above and beyond the call of duty, my friend.
No problem. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you are welcome to stay on or sign off. Please don't feel bad. We have our next speaker, Gangaraj, who's going to talk a little bit about on the tax side of it, especially with the big, beautiful bill that is going through. He's going to help us dissect it a little bit.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I'm going to jump off, but if you need me, you know how to reach me.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right. My friend Gangaraj.
Hi, Raj.
I can't see you yet.
Okay. Can you see me now?
No.
Oh, okay. How about now?
No, I think, yeah, you are.
Okay.
You are live now, my friend. Okay. So, friends, first of all, as I mentioned, Gangaraj has been an amazing supporter of WeGyan and a great friend, great, person overall, and very, very knowledgeable about the latest and greatest in the tax world. And I have a prepared what's called introduction for him, but I'm going to, in interest of time, not go into that. Suffice it to say that in the professional world, he actually also worked at IRS before he went off and started his own tax preparation business.
I'm an IRS enrolled agent, Raj.
IRS enrolled agent. Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody be careful. So Gangaraj, I'm going to turn it over to you. With what all is going on in the world today, there's a lot of assumptions, lots of moving parts, and in all fairness to you, you won't necessarily be able to predict where the puck is going, as they say. But do give us some insight into what's happening with this big, beautiful bill. How does it impact us?
Sure. Am I audible?
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen. Hope everybody can see my screen.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, great. First of all, good evening, everyone. And thank you, Raj and Hannah, for organizing this webinar. I think you have smartly chosen the topic. First, you covered with the help of Ahmed the SBA part, and then we are talking about the tax. SBA gives a boost or confidence for somebody to start a business by providing funding, and tax is something right tax mate we can help you to operate your business from the compliance point of view. I think this is a perfect mix, this topic, and hope the participants today can gain information, and then they may think over, and then they make a decision that would help for them in the financial world. So having said that, in financial world, we frequently use two terms, or actually four. One is assets, liabilities, income and expenses. Likewise, today's topic, we are going to cover the big, beautiful bill and the tariff. The tariff is something will take money out from your pocket, and the big, beautiful bill that was proposed, most likely that will go through with very minor changes that would help you to save money in your pocket or in your bank account. And in today, I'll give you a glimpse of the tariff and the big beautiful bill. And the beauty is the knowledge that you gain from today's session as well as from your further study. It's all about how you utilize this knowledge, and then how you face the challenges or limitations. The more advantages by using this knowledge, and if you can able to make use of the opportunity, that's where you can make more money, or you can create more social wealth for the community. So without any further delay, before I start the session, I just want to give you a little bit about who we are, who are my partners. Gangaraju, I'm an IRS enrolled agent admitted to practice before the IRS. And I have my partner, Arish Karkal. He's a chartered accountant. And Krishnan joined recently, a couple of months ago. He has almost 45 years of experience. He's a CPA. We provide one-stop solution for all the business owners and individuals. Mainly, we are expertise on bookkeeping, payroll, and other tax compliance services. We have 75 plus professionals who are CPAs and EA, specialized in all these services that I just mentioned. Our physical office is in Katy. We have office in Irving, Dallas, Cyprus, and Houston. Also, we do use a technology, and most the technology platform we are inspired from E&Y, Deloitte. That's where my previous company. I worked for E&Y before I started my practice. So we have borrowed or used some of the platform that were used in Big Four. So as a client, you get best experience in terms of the platform we have, and which is highly secured and gives you a highly convenient platform for you to share the information with us. And anytime it is available for you to access any of your tax document or to share that information to us. And today's webinar, the topic which I'm going to cover, some of them are tax planning ideas that would save money, and it requires a special knowledge, and you need to consult tax professional. You feel free to contact us, know more about it, and understand the situation. We'll give you more detailed explanation. In next 20-30 minutes, I'll try my best to give you the glimpse or a summary of some of the tax topics. And the information we provide is only for information only. If you want to implement, please consult the tax professional or Right TaxMate. I have a couple more slides. In the interest of time, I'm not going to talk about some of the frequent asked question. I will open up the floor for question and answer later. We can discuss about it. Today, I'm going to talk mainly on three topics. One is a tariff, as Raj just mentioned, and the big, beautiful bill, and some of the tax planning strategies for the individual and business owners. So let's quickly go through the tariff, because everybody is hearing about tariff, and its tariff will cost more money. And so it is important to know, the latest, what is going on in the recent days about tariff. I have mainly taken some of the events, most important events that would impact an individuals or our community. There are other events which I'm not mentioning it here. Just main events I'm trying to capture, which will mainly give the most of the information for the audience today. So April 1st, there was an universal 10% baseline tariff has been introduced. And then also in May 4th, there is a talk about Trump wants to impose 100% tariff on foreign films. We being Indians, we enjoy Bollywood movies, and most likely you may see if this happens, the entertainment become expensive. You may not get to see all the movies that release in India. So even they are going very detailed, and wherever possible, they are going to impose the tariff. And May 23rd, Trump proposed, especially on Apple, 25% import tax. That means your smartphone prices anyway, that's going to increase, but Apple, anything which are not manufactured in the US, will going to be 25% more expensive. On 28, there was a major, update that US court blocked the President Trump's tariff. They say it is unconstitutional. It cannot be done. But surprisingly, just 2 days later, 3 days later, on May 31st, Trump announced the additional tariff, especially on steel and aluminum imports, up to 50%. So we don't know in this unrealistic world what is going to happen, but most likely what we can expect, the possible outcome would be, the 10% baseline will continue to be there. Most of the product, including electronics, car, furniture, construction materials, we believe that the 10% base rate will continue to be there. Even court is not stopping to impose any tariff. There is a appeal process, but still they are already started collecting the tariff for all the imported goods. And then, also this tariff, if you look at the positive side, it will encourage domestic production, and it also create a lot of opportunity for US manufacturers. So especially if you are a business owner, if you have a business mind, in this economic change, create some of the business opportunities. You may need to carefully review some of the things and then maybe prepared to start up. Now we have just learned about SBA. You may start some business that would, you may get benefit out of it.
Gangaraj, I have to jump in for a second here.
Sure, Raj, feel free.
I really appreciate that slide of yours, the previous one, because so far we have been just, watching and absorbing all the changes that were taking place. In one day the tariff is on, second day the tariff is not on, or it is reduced, or it is increased. But how does it impact us? And I think I like it. You have giving us a very high level view that whether you like it or not, your cost is going to go up.
Yeah.
Right. 10% tariff, that is very likely here to stay.
Yeah.
And now from country to country, region to region, he's looking at, more tariffs. So at the end of the day, a smart person can look at, okay, if certain thing that is going to be tariffed heavily, but there's an opportunity to actually produce it here. And now with the SBA presentation that we just heard through, we may be actually able to start a small cottage industry, a small business, addressing that part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're likely said, right? There is every economic change create opening for a lot of investment opportunities and business expansion. Definitely this change is a massive change and it's disrupted a lot of businesses. So for a newcomer, it's an advantage. They know, the current situation. They can quickly jump in and make use of the situation. For that, they need to be prepared. One is funding is one of the important aspect before we start a business. And so now we have SBA to fund it. And SBA, there is a lot of myth in SBA. If you sit with a bank or Ahmed or his team, most of your myth will be solved. So I would encourage, if you have some ideas, you should explore, move forward, understand, and then consult the professional and then take a decision. So taking action will give you a lot of the success. Just keep thinking about it and not to take any steps further to implement your ideas. So I keep on hearing some of my clients, they have a lot of ideas, because when I hear them why these ideas are not implemented and the reason they provide, I feel that, okay, some of the reasons can be easily resolved with very little effort. So if anybody are in this situation, if you are anybody are in dilemma, if it is better to sit with the expert. And if you want to consult us, right, TaxMate, and I'm happy to help and answer some of the questions you may have to start up a business. Okay, let's understand how to prepare for a tariff. These are all very generic information, because these are not something, many of you are aware about it. I just want to highlight some of them. Is one of the easiest thing you can do is the tariff is brand new, and some of the cost, some of the manufacturer actually not prepared to for this tariff, and some of the price have not been increased. So if it is essential, if you think it is required, if you think you are anyway going to make a purchase in the next couple of months, it is a good idea to purchase them now before actually the price, hike take effect. So, and also the next step would be adjust your budget, because after 2 months, once everybody started implementing this tariff, the cost of living will change. And if you have any plans, you may need to revise your financial plan. Also keep some money for emergency, because we really don't know what is going to happen when it comes to tariff. Now Trump is talking about 50% increase. If you are going to buy a house, suddenly if your budget is 500K, the price may increase dramatically. Or if you're going to buy a car, a specific car, if you're interested, that may increase dramatically. So see if you in certain emergency budget, you want to keep them. And some of the groceries may be expected to increase. Day-to-day essential may expected to increase. So you may need to watch out, see, keep certain amount of savings in the emergency fund, and then stay informed about the price trend, see what is going to happen, and accordingly, if you want to make purchases, make your purchases accordingly. And most importantly, consult a financial or a business advisor if you want to make any major purchases, or if you want to make any of the major changes in your financial planning. And like I said earlier, this change in the economic period it has proven always create new opportunities. If you are interested, or if you have some ideas, it is a good idea to think about it, make use of the opportunity to start a business or make investment to generate more revenue in the future. Okay, that's about tariff. So far, whatever we have spoken, it's about, that will take more money from your pocket. It will cost you more money in your pocket. So now, additionally, government is smartly proposed, come up with the one big, beautiful bill. So if you go through this bill, everything is positive. It has benefits right from newborn child to senior citizen. And I'll go through some of the details. So everything look rosy, everything look advantage for small and medium-sized families. Here you can see lot of savings or lot of reduction in taxes have been announced. And like I told earlier, most likely this bill will be passed. Maybe a small change that may take place. July 4th is the time they are going to finalize. It may finalize anytime before, but most likely this bill going to be passed. Let's dive in and understand the highlights of this one big beautiful bill. It's called as a one big beautiful bill. It's Trump's name. Trump has named it as one big beautiful bill. You will hear about it many times in the next coming months. So some of the highlights of one big beautiful bill, if you remember in 2017, when Trump come to administration, he has introduced a TCJA Act. As part of the act, that standard deduction doubled, the tax bracket reduced, and all TCJA rules was set to expire 31st December 2025. So now with this one big beautiful bill, the TCJA made permanent. So you're continue to get, you may remember before filing 2027 return, and then now, earlier the standard deduction was 12,000 for individuals, and it was 24,000. Now they doubled it. So that will continue. You will have the more they adjusted for cost of living, about $30,000 for 2025 for married couples. That will continue. Child tax credit will continue. The lower tax rate starting from 10% to 37.5%, that will continue. In addition to that, there are a lot more benefits have been offered in the one big beautiful bill. So some of them are, again, I have not listed all the benefit. I have listed only a couple of them which are relevant for our community. So one of the relief is given for seniors who are 65 and above. They are going to get additional $4,000 deduction on their tax return. Again, this will be subject to AGI limit, I think $75,000 or $150K for a married couples. In addition to the standard deduction, you get $4,000 deduction on your return. Auto car loan interest, if you are buying a car, earlier this deduction was not available. Up to $10,000 interest that you pay on auto car and the qualified passenger vehicle. Qualified passenger vehicle is nothing but which will be produced in America. If you buy from an American company, you are going to get interest deduction up to $10,000. You pay a loan if you take it, and that interest is deductible on your return. And the next update is the state and local tax deduction. Earlier, there used to be, it's an itemized deduction. There used to be cap of $10,000, irrespective of the property tax you pay. There used to be a cap of $10,000. So now it has been increased to $30,000 for married couples. For married filing separate, it is $15,000. Again, a MAGIL limitation for high net worth individuals. If you make more than 400K, this will be phased out, maybe coming back to 10,000. But anybody who makes less than 400K, you get $30,000. Your cap is increased to $30,000. And interestingly, for service industry, no tax on tips. Earlier, tips also subject to tax. They need to include it as a taxable income. So now, no tax on tips. For somebody who makes 150K, they don't need to pay tax on tips. And again, they don't need to pay tax on overtime pay. This will create a lot of opportunity for planning. Again, this is for the service industry. And somebody who makes less than 150K, they don't need to pay tax on tips and then overpay payment. And they doubled the HSA limit, L saving account. You can make double the contribution. And also they relaxed the rules for spending the HSA money. Earlier, it used to be only for medical expenses. Now it is open for sports and fitness membership fee. So if you have using the HSA, you can use your HSA to pay your sports and fitness fee. So this is something significant and also encourage people to be fit. And these are all the interesting aspects for individuals. So now for working parents and families, paid leave and childcare incentive have been, has been introduced. And 529 plan broaden the scope of eligible expenses. This 529 plan earlier only for education expenses, buying books, paying tuition fee. Now it has been broadened, and you can also use it for a couple of other things. We will provide you more details if you need to know more about it. And then another highlight is opportunity zone. Opportunity zone generally, they are going to come up with a new opportunity zone. Any investment you make in this opportunity zone, SBA, they showed you some of the areas where if you make an investment, you get access to some of the fund. Likewise, opportunity zone, if you invest in this opportunity zone, pre-identified area, if you have any capital gain, you can defer, or in most cases, you can exclude from taxes. Let's say you are making a huge gain from your stock trade. By investing in opportunity zone or by investing in a business in the opportunity zone, you can defer the gain, or in many times you can completely avoid the tax on the gain you make from sale of stock or sale of a business or sale of your house or rental property. So capital gain can be reduced. So you don't need to pay taxes on the gain you make from the capital gain transactions. And for business owners, there are some more tips for or some more provisions have been made for business owner. One is 1099 miscellaneous. Anybody whom you pay up to $600, there used to be a case where you need to issue the 1099 miscellaneous. Now the threshold has been increased to $2,000. And then 1099K gig worker rule. You might have heard, if you pay anything through Zelle or if you receive Zelle, last year you supposed to, they used to issue a 1099K and you need to file the tax return. So it used to come under the tracking mechanism, and then they used to ask for a reason. Now they are going to take it off to make it easy for most of the people. So that rule will go away if this bill passes and if Senate approves this. And most importantly, this bonus depreciation, this is a great incentive for the investors as well as somebody who run the business, especially for the multi-tenant apartments, or if you are buying any office space or any kind of capital investment. You now the 100% depreciation is back. They took it off about 4 years ago. They gradually reduced it from 100% to 80%, 60%, and 40%. So now they're bringing it back to 100%. This boosts the economy. This boosts the business owners to make more investment. But as an investor, you will get a tax write-off on your tax return. This is a great and the large deductions you can claim on your tax return. And for the another provision is qualified business income deduction. For all the businesses where especially there are two type of business. One is specified service and other one is non-specified service. Most of the business, IT business, service business comes under specified service. So if your income is less than 400K, on the net income of the business, there used to be 20% additional deduction, like a standard deduction used to be applied in the previous year. So now, starting 2026, this deduction has been increased to 23%. So you will save more money, or you get more deductions by applying this qualified business income deduction on your return. And then excess business loss has been extended, and any amount you can carry forward. So all these things create a lot of room for tax planning. So you should, if it's the time, definitely this is the time to consult your tax professional to understand all these rules. This big beautiful bill has 116-page document, and they have given a lot of ideas, a lot of provisions have been given to make use of it. And I've gone through this some of the provisions, and there is a provision for each and everybody, right from smallest individuals who makes $50,000 to somebody who makes 20 million in income. So everybody have something to take away from this big beautiful bill. It is important for you to learn, understand, and implement and make use of this opportunity to reduce your tax liability. So I don't know, Raj, if I have more time, I'll continue with some other topic. Otherwise, we already covered 1 hour. I think
Yeah, we already covered 1 hour and a few
question
people.
and answer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, we covered quite a bit. And Gangaraj, thank you very much for going through 1,000+ pages of this one big beautiful bill and gleaning from there, how it impacts, from a, like you said, from a individual all the way to a corporate. It seems like there is something good for everyone. The fact that it's going to add to our debt, that's a different issue. I don't think we want to get into that.
Yeah.
That's a whole different politics side of it. But what the bill that is going through, which has already gone through the Congress and now it's in the Senate, it has all these advantages. And I think so many things I thought I already knew because I watch this news quite a bit and I've been following it. But you were able to identify a few things which I did not realize, like the auto loan interest deduction. I did not know that was happening. One other question that I have is that the gifting rule, the lifetime gift amount, what is the status on that?
So lifetime gift for family, it is $30 million. So you can gift or transfer. A couple can transfer up to $30 million without incurring any additional tax liability.
Okay. And is that
Yeah.
something that's going to, like in the past, every year it went up, then it started going down, then what is the status of that?
No, they made it permanent. Now going forward, it will increase for the cost of index. So it will not come down. So now it
Okay.
is going to increase. 30 million will be the base amount.
Okay. That's good.
And most of our family, the community member will do get, some of them are not aware about it, and some of them may not come under that purview, some of them. So I just did not bring it up, not to avoid any confusion.
No, but I think this is good to know because
Yeah.
it was supposed to go down drastically. And
Yeah.
then, now I think the fact that if the bill is going to make it 30 million even, I mean, that's
Yeah.
something that we all have now motivation to work towards.
Yes.
So up to 30 million can be transferred to our next generation. So guys, go out, make some money, use SBA, use Gangaraj, and, try to figure out how to, have the right business up and running.
Yeah, I'd like to add something here. Gangaraju, thank you for your time, your presentation, your knowledge. So to everybody on this call, I mean, Gangaraju and his team are tremendous when it comes to tax planning and doing your taxes, etc. Raj and I are customers of Gangaraju, and his team puts together an entire simulation for us about early December, and it allows us to plug and play several strategies to see how we can kind of pay the least tax legally. But I would encourage all of you. It's a great team to have in your corner. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, most of the taxpayer make mistake. They think about taxes only in April, February, or March. That's not the smartest way to get your taxes done. Now this is the time to think about your 2025 taxes. So what we do is we collect your information. We collect copy of your latest paycheck. We collect your portfolio statement, and we factor it for. We collect your information and then see if there is any changes in the next 6 months, and we could able to project what would be your income for the year 2025. And once we know the number, after discussing with you, after making those changes, we create scenarios. We don't wait for February or March to come and then file your tax returns. We prepare your return based on the information we provide. Your 2025 returns will be ready. We'll show it to you. And we provide scenarios. Let's say if you choose this strategy A, strategy B, if you buy a car, if you buy a rental property, if you invest in some multifamily, or if you withdraw a certain amount from your retirement account, convert into Roth IRA, how it is going to impact on your taxes? What would be the additional tax you may expect it to pay? And how can you mitigate? What are the options you have to reduce your taxes? We have this kind of conversation with our client, and many clients who utilize our services, they will be wowed. They wouldn't get this kind of experience. Most of the preparer, whomever I know, they are not doing these kind of services. There are high-end service provider who charge $20,000 for filing the tax return. Some of them, they use this technique that I used to see in my EY days, but we are doing it for very nominal amount. For some of you, we may charge for $300 or $400. Some of you, we may combine it as part of the tax preparation fee. So it depends on the complexity. End of the day, our time need to be worth, and we need to compensate it for our time. But it would be reasonable. But the savings we create for our client in 20,000, 30,000 savings, especially for business owner, the ideas we provide, it could be employing your child. It could be making use of Augusta rule, that is, home office expenses, and creating a accountable plan for your business. So all these things will help you to, be compliant with IRS, follow all the requirement, and save taxes. So these are all the things we offer for our client. If anybody wants to know your scenario analysis or hypothetical analysis, please do contact us. We will be happy to prepare one for you and show it to you how it is going to make difference for next year.
Great. Gangaraj, thank you very much. I know I'm going to be sharing Ahmad's presentation. Can I share some part of your presentation also?
Sure, I will share the slide which I covered today.
Correct. That would be
we'll
great.
share.
So
And one thing,
yes,
because this big beautiful bill is just passed, and most likely it will be approved. But if there is any change, some of the numbers what I mentioned in the presentation may change.
right.
So with that disclaimer, yes, you can share whatever you have.
So you may want to update the deck to maybe say that in the deck itself.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be nice. Also, Gangaraj, Anna actually put a question there, which not necessarily a question, a comment. We need you back once the big beautiful bill is passed, to dissect it and tell us, okay, so what is the real thing now? What is actually?
Yeah, because while you highlighted all the advantages, I'm sure there are some things that are negative also, right?
The
So
negative is tariff.
Tariff,
yeah, so we'll get hit that way.
And also, Anna, the negative is the fact that those who don't know will
Yeah.
not use it,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, if people know in January that you could deduct a car interest,
Yeah.
right, and they just deferred it, they could
Yeah.
actually buy it early. They could have done some things
Yeah.
like that. So there
Yeah.
are, I think, knowing what can be done before the year ends. Now, one quick question: whatever does get approved in this big beautiful bill, will that be for the
2025.
2025?
Most of it, what I mentioned, is for 2025.
Really?
Only few of them for 26, which I mentioned in my presentation, but 95% of it is applying from 25.
Excellent. All right,
So
folks.
we'd love for you to come back
Yeah.
after July
Sure.
to do a full
I'll be happy
session.
to.
And I know I'm going to send your team a meeting invitation for at least a personal consultation.
Yes,
Sure,
scenario
sure.
planning. Anybody has any questions, raise your hand. We'll have another minute or so. We will pause for just a minute to see if anybody has any questions. Feel free. Gangaraj is here for us.
Yes, BG Bihani asked, will we get contact details?
Yes, you will get
Yeah, you
contact.
can. We will share the contact information. It's easy, tax@righttaxmate.com. And now we have onboarding team. You can reach our onboarding team. They collect your basic information, then route to the right profession who can advise or take care of your need. Onboarding@righttaxmate.com or tax@righttaxmate.com.
Right.
But you'll receive that in an email
Yeah.
from Raj.
Excellent. Good. Any other question? Anybody want to raise hand? Anybody want to just speak? I'm going to unmute all.
Yeah, hi. I have one question for
Yeah.
Gangaraj sir. You mentioned 100% depreciation. So what are those qualified conditions for a W-2 employee, a person who has a W-2 income, to consider for that 100% depreciation? Example, investing in real estate property like rental income property.
Yeah, so especially for W-2, we need to carefully structure the strategy. So one is mainly for a business owner who invest for expansion or who create a real estate property where the life of an asset is less than 20 years. Most of the properties come under less than 20 years of life as defined by the IRS. You are going to write off 100% of the cost of the asset or the cost of purchasing that asset on your tax return. Especially for for W-2 earners, we do see an opportunity of making them using the real estate professional status. I think it is a good idea to take the consultation with us. Then we will explain you in detail, or we'll understand your particular case and try to see if there is any opportunity for us to make small tweak in your filing status and then make use of this benefit on the return.
Thank you.
Especially for business owner, it is more flexible, but for W-2, there are certain tweaks we may need to do, but you need to consult us.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think we have taken plenty of time today to conduct this WeGyan session. Folks, thank you very much for joining in today. We will make sure that Gangaraj keeps coming back and tail end of every WeGyan session, he's updating us on the latest and greatest on the tax side. The next one that we are planning for is on generative AI. And I know there are lots of material out there on Gen AI, etc. But Anna and I actually had the good fortune to speak to an individual who predicted AI and all the associated industries that will go up along with AI back in 2015 sometimes. And when we heard of him, we were so mesmerized by what he's envisioning down the road. So I have asked for him to also come to our WeGyan session and share it with all of you. So stay tuned. If I can rope him in, we will have our next WeGyan session on that topic.
Yeah, that one you would want to attend with your families, with your kids. It's incredible, blew our minds.
Yeah, it's a futuristic session.
And very relevant. It's not just technology.
Exactly.
It's very relevant.
Yep. All right, folks, with that, we are signing off. Thank you again. It was another wonderful WeGyan session and hope we all learned something from it. Once again, Gangaraj, thank you for participating. Anna, thank you very much for talking about Hunger Mitao and setting the ground rules. And all of you, thank you for participating.
You are the reason for this event, Raj. All thanks goes to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. And
Good
thank
night,
you all.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.